What's up, Dimers? It's Katie Welge for Pine Sports with another episode full of daily dimes, full of Week 1 NFL picks. Yes, the week is finally over, and it feels so good to officially say football is back. Javen is here to give us his top bets for the first Sunday full of games of the season. Like, subscribe, and share the channel right below. It's fantasy football season, and PrizePicks and Pine have teamed up to provide all Pine users with a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 when you use the code PINE. Sign up today and win with PrizePicks times Pine. Javen, welcome back. Excited to switch gears from baseball to football dimes with you today. I know you have a full slate of picks, so which prop are you going to lock us in with first for Week 1?
The first prop that I released for this NFL season was Elijah Moore over 47.5 receiving yards. I actually set alarm clocks starting at like 11 a.m. for every 20 minutes to check if this line would open because I really like Elijah Moore. And it's up to 51.5, 52.5 now, but I would still play it there for a full unit. I wouldn't go much further, but I like him to get around 60 yards. He's an extremely talented Ole Miss receiver. This is his second year in the league, and he finished last year very strong in the last 6 games. He has 67 or more receiving yards in 4 of those final 6 games, with 44 and 46 yards in the other 2. He caught 34 of his 51 targets in those 6 games, including 8 of 11 from Joe Flacco in the one game that he started. That game, Moore had 8 catches for 141 yards and a touchdown. And Flacco compared Moore to Steve Smith this offseason in terms of being in the right spot and his route timing. And he played with Steve Smith, and that's a pretty good comparison to have. So if he had at least one catch of 22 or more yards in each of those last 6 games, including a 62-yard catch from Flacco. Baltimore has won 4 of their last 5 season openers, and the last 4 they've averaged over 42 points a game. So that kind of offensive production and the fact that the Jets are a 7-point underdog to begin the year should mean a pass-heavy game script for Joe Flacco, who has a 35.5 pass attempt line. In his only start last year, he attempted 39 passes, and I do expect around 35 to 40 again. And they allowed 40 total wide receivers to go over this line last year in 17 games. So I really like this line for Elijah Moore. So for my second player prop, I'm going with another Elijah. I'm going Elijah Mitchell, the running back from the 49ers, over 14.5 carries, minus 130. It's moved to 15.5 most books, but I would still play it there. Last season, he didn't begin the year as a starter, as that was Raheem Mostert's job, but he got hurt in Week 1. And Elijah Mitchell stepped up ahead of Trey Sermon, JaMychal Hasty, and Jeff Wilson to lead the team. He averaged 4.7 yards per carry and had 17 or more carries in 11 of his 14 games played. They have a great offensive line in San Francisco and a run-heavy approach behind Kyle Shanahan. Last season, San Francisco ranked 29th in pass rate. When they played Chicago, Mitchell had 18 carries for 137 yards and a touchdown against these Bears. The Bears allowed running backs to have 15 or more carries in 14 of 17 games last year. The games that they didn't allow that were when they had split backfields. So, like the Lions had 22 combined carries from Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Packers had 24 from A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. And then the Vikings got a big lead and just kind of sat on the ball with backups after Dalvin Cook had 14 carries in the last game of the year. And with being a road favorite of around a touchdown in Chicago, with Trey Lance making his first Week 1 start of his career, I expect them to lean on the run in the road, and I like this prop to go over 16 carries. All right, so for my third pick, I'm going Patriots quarterback Mac Jones over 20.5 completions at minus 105, and this line's still available. Patriots have been talked about struggling learning their new offense over the offseason, particularly in the run game, and that's not a good sign when you are opening the season against a tough opponent. There's been rumors that they have had internal discussions of scrapping their new system and going back to last year's, which means a lot of chaos. They lost J.C. Jackson, Kyle Van Noy, and Dante Hightower on defense this season, while Miami brought in Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Chase Edmonds on offense. The Dolphins also hired new head coach Mike McDaniel, who was the offensive coordinator of the 49ers last season, and they should see improvement on that side of the ball with Tua having more experience. Patriots have lost 3 of their last 5 season openers, 4 of their last 5 games in Miami, and all 3 games against the Dolphins when Tua has started. They did add Devontae Parker from Miami on the outside and brought back James White as a pass-catching back. I think they need to be aggressive in this game because I see this being a higher scoring game than the total has, and I think that Jones will be set up for success in this spot, as Miami last year was the second highest blitzing defense and had the 3rd most pressures on the quarterback. While it doesn't sound like it'd be good for Mac Jones, he's actually really good against the pressure. He gets rid of the ball at the 8th fastest rate and has the 8th highest completion percentage as a rookie last year. The Patriots also have a good offensive line, and Miami will be without starting cornerback Byron Jones. In the season opener last year, Mac Jones completed 14 of his 18 passes against the Miami Blitz, including 7 of 10 when he was under pressure. And that led to 29 completions during the entire game. 11 of the first 13 quarterbacks to face Miami last year went over this number of completions. And one of the misses was when Cam Newton went 5 of 22 and got benched, so 12-13. Mac had 21 or more completions in 11 of his 18 starts, including the playoffs last year, with one of the misses being that crazy weather game in Buffalo when he only attempted 3 passes. But even in 9 wins, he went over this in 6 of those games. So even if he's not in a trailing environment, I like this number for him. And this line's already at like minus 135 on sharper books like Pinnacle. So I think we're getting good value at the minus 105 price here.